Okay, good morning and welcome to Allen Avenue Unitarian Universalist Church. Whether today is your first time here or you've been coming for years, we're so glad you are here with us. My name is Cynthia Martin and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm serving as this morning's worship associate. We are a growing community that transforms lives through the power of love. Our mission calls us to celebrate diversity, encourage spiritual growth, and promote social responsibility while we travel on and care for this earth. A special welcome to those at home who are joining us on Zoom today. If you are attending for the first time, please fill out the welcome card on our website so we can get to know you. All right, I have three announcements. I'm going to start with mine. Thank you to the many, many people who helped make the yard sale a success yesterday. We raised just over $3,000 for the church and even had some fun. And the yard sale cafe continues. So hopefully you're hungry. Additional goodies brought in today, a wide variety of muffins, and there's a hot bread pudding that is savory. And so join us and let's bump the yard sale earnings.
A quick announcement from me. This is a save the date, which I'll send more information about after this morning. But some of you may be aware that on Friday, May 15th, Turning Point USA is going to be hosting a big event at the Portland Expo. Turning Point is the organization of the late Charlie Kirk. And those of us who don't plan on attending that are planning an alternative event. Their tour is called Make Heaven Crowded. We're coming up with a pithy name that we haven't exactly decided yet. So instead of drawing attention to an event that is absolutely counter to our Unitarian Universalist values, we are having a different event. It's going to be on Friday evening at the same time, May 15th at 6:30 at First Parish. There will be music, there will be speakers, it will be fun and full of love and in the spirit of justice and inclusion. So I'll send more information about that, but have no fear, we'll have a party.
That was a good announcement. Okay, so we invite you all to take this opportunity to silence your cell phones so that we can be fully present to one another. After the service, please consider purchasing some items to devour and enjoy a cup of coffee or have something for free. And now let us center our hearts and minds with the sounds of the singing bowl.
Good morning. For real this time. My name's Reverend Tara. I use they, them pronouns, and I serve as the minister of this congregation, Allen A2U2, or A2U2 for short. It's a gift to be together today. We gather this morning amidst a weary world and amidst the joyous unfolding of spring finally and life. And so whether weary, joy-filled, or some of both, know that you are in good company here. Our children and youth are taking the full hour this morning for religious education for the annual Trash to Treasure Hunt on our 6 acres of land. After church, our youth group will join the Youth Service Corps for meal prep work with the Preble Street Food Security Hub. Kids who prefer to stay and play in the sanctuary are welcome here at any point throughout the service, or are apparently mostly in the nursery down the hall to the left. Those of us in the sanctuary for the full hour today will reflect together on a question many of us ask ourselves at some point in our life: am I lost? We can feel lost personally, as a congregation, as a movement, as a community, as a country, but feeling lost and being lost are not necessarily the same. So we'll dig into how we are to live faithfully and in alignment with our shared values in those times that we're not sure which way is forward, up, or down. In a prayer entitled "For Finding the Way Home Again," Anna Strickland of Enfleshed Liturgies writes, "I don't know where I am or how I got this far away from where I wanted to go. And now isn't the time to psychoanalyze every move I've made that got me here. Whatever got me here is irrelevant now. My heartbeat is the compass, the guiding beacon to lead me back to me, we, and us. May our hearts together, beating as one, be our guide in this sacred hour we share. Come, friends, and know that you are welcome. You are joyfully called to worship."
As we light our sanctuary chalice this morning, those joining on Zoom are invited to light a chalice or candle near you to connect us more deeply with one another. In the presence of this fire, we hear the voice of the holy. You are on sacred ground. In the presence of the flame, in me, in you, in us, moving, resting, gathering, we are on sacred ground. In the presence of this fire, we are compelled to take up a torch, to carry a flame, to seek a sacred ground. In the presence of this spark, we are committed to light the fire of passion, of life, of holy work, to journey towards truth on sacred ground.
We light our community candle this morning in celebration of the safe return of the Artemis II astronauts, and in gratitude for the beauty, humility, and awe they have gifted the world through their photographs and stories. Will you take a breath with me? Our opening hymn this morning is in your teal hymnal number 1020, which will also be up on the screen. It's Wo Ya Ya, which the song's Ghanaian composer describes as being an African scat syllable that has come to mean "we are going." Dale will play it through once, and then you are invited to rise in body or spirit as we sing together. Once upon a time, there were two villages, the Sun Village and the Moon Village. They were separated by a deep canyon. And for a long time, both villages existed separately across the canyon, happily humming along in life. They knew that the other was there, but they never had much cause to interact. Both villages were beautiful. The people of each village helped their community when times were hard. One day, an earthquake hit the Sun Village and shook everything so badly it felt like the world had turned upside down for them. Buildings crumbled, streets buckled, water flooded many places. The villagers were distraught. They did their best to recover their homes, community buildings, supplies, but they soon could tell it wasn't enough. When the Moon Village heard the commotion and saw the destruction all the way across the canyon, they felt heartbroken for their neighbors. They said to each other, "What can we do? We have to help." The Moon Village knew they had a lot to offer, much needed support, extra hands to rebuild, temporary homes, supplies, care for the children and elders. They felt called to rise up and care, because a stronger network of care means a stronger community. They had a vision, but didn't have a plan. And it's really hard to come up with ideas when you feel scared and everything feels urgent. One precocious young child spoke up and said, "Why don't we just build a bridge to connect our two villages?" It was a marvelous idea, only none of them had ever done anything quite like that before, and they didn't know how to build a bridge. Some wanted to map out the whole design, beginning to end. Some wanted a step-by-step checklist of people, supplies, etc. Some wanted to talk to all the experts and get the villagers' input. The child piped up again. "We have a lot of materials and thoughtful people, you guys, but we don't have a lot of time. Why don't we just start building and learn what we need as we go? We can build the bridge as we cross it." It was true. There were people who were hurt, and they needed to begin feeding and caring for the Sun Village. Well, after that bit of wisdom, the Moon villagers got to work. Each villager from the Moon Village contributed. Some shared their wood, others brought cables, some brought their tools. Some were able to stay for days at a time. Others focused on teaching the proper building techniques. Even away from the bridge, villagers collected relief supplies for the Sun Village, and some contributed funds to buy spare parts. It was a sustained effort, and each had time and something to give. And as the bridge began to come together, it wasn't always pretty. They'd try something, and maybe it didn't work, or a piece didn't fit, and that was tough. But the builders made sure to move back and try again. Sometimes no one knew exactly what to do next, which is such an uncomfortable feeling. Over time, though, they trusted themselves and each other to learn the way. Finally, the bridge was complete, and everyone was able to cross over to both villages and share resources and support. Suddenly, they found themselves joined together, soaking up all the differences between the Sun and the Moon villages. New foods, new fabrics, new music, new ways of seeing the world. Each was so grateful for the gift of witnessing their neighbors. And they were grateful to see what values they shared. In time, the Sun Village was rebuilt, and the villagers returned to their homes, but they always remained connected by that bridge. Things sometimes went wrong with the bridge. A board would snap, A bundle of supplies or a whole bunch would fall, and each time they got together to figure out what kind of repair was needed, and then they got to work. The bridge had lasted generations. The villagers are fond of the story of its building. Often they face tough situations with many possible paths forward and potential pitfalls too. Instead of getting stuck in the overwhelm, they think about their bridge and gently remind each other, we can do this. We can build the bridge as we cross it. Hear these words of blessing. It doesn't always mean to go astray, but somehow this blessing knew it would find you here in this place where even you don't know where you are. This blessing regrets to say it left its compass at home. It is without map, chart, GPS. It has hardly any native sense of direction. This blessing appears to be nearly useless, in fact. But, and I know this might not be encouraging, it purely loves getting lost. This blessing has learned to breathe when it has left every landmark behind, when it has seen its last signpost, when dark has begun to fall while it is still far from home. This blessing knows the prayers to say when it has misplaced its way, the chance that will help it find the path where it seems no path could ever be. This blessing is good at finding fellow travelers. It loves the company of the lost, the wandering, the confused, the ones who have been walking in circles for days, loves helping them find water, shelter, shade, loves keeping vigil so they can safely rest. The point of this blessing is that it has no real point. It just wants you to know you are not alone, have never been, will never be, that it will go with you, will wander with you as long as you want, as long as it takes, gladly being lost with you until your way appears.
Now is the time in our service where we engage in the spiritual practice of generosity. Our gifts support the ministries of this congregation and our work in the broader community. Each week, 1/3 of our offering is given away to a local nonprofit organization doing work to advance our shared values in the world. This month's Share the Plate recipient is Portland Trails, who connects neighbors, communities, and the natural world through almost 100 miles of trails in and around Portland. Donations can be made now as the basket is passed through the donate button on our website, or if you are a member on Breeze, remembering to make note that your gift is for Share the Plate. If you are visiting us for the first time this morning, please know that your presence is your gift to us. At this time, our offering will be collected and gratefully received.
Stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger, must ask permission to know it and be known. The forest breathes. Listen. It answers, I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again, saying, here. No two trees are the same to raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you. Let's sing together. Winds Be Still, 83, and Your Gray Hymnal. Dale will play it through once, and then we'll rise and join our voices in song. I left my compass at home. I am without map, chart, GPS. I have hardly any native sense of direction. Stand still, the trees tell me, wherever you are is called here. Have you ever gotten lost? Looked around and realized you had no idea where you were? Perhaps you were driving or hiking, walking in the woods, a little kid in the grocery store who looked up to all of a sudden realize your grown-ups were nowhere to be found. Do you remember how it felt? Who were you with? For me, a feeling of panic begins to rise in my chest. Everything tightens. The world starts to feel really kind of claustrophobic. I try to activate my brain, usually getting frustrated that a little GPS doesn't just turn on. And when activating my brain inevitably fails, I typically do one of three things. The first, I immediately blame the person I'm with and shrug off all responsibility for the conundrum we are in. Or two, I double down, insist I'm right, and very quickly become more confident than I've ever been in my entire life. Or three, this is a good one, I start making things up, grasping for any evidence that I know where I am, even if it's fake evidence. I'm pretty sure this way is north, or I think we've seen this tree before, when in fact I have no compass and have definitely never seen that tree before. You would think that for someone with these three fantastic and highly effective reactions and responses that I wouldn't get myself lost very often, or at least I would have some really good maps or technology. It's the opposite. I get myself turned around and lost while running and hiking on a fairly regular basis. And I'm impatient. And I don't like maps. And I can't stand stopping to look at my phone if I even bring it in the first place. Even driving, honestly, I'll spare you the full-length story of the extended ride I took down what I thought was a road and was actually a snowmobile trail in the backwoods of Rangeley. Suffice it to say, I've spent a fair amount of time being lost, and quite a bit of time with others who are lost. Because, of course, there are many ways to feel lost. We can be emotionally lost, spiritually lost, unsure where exactly we are in life and how we got here, disconnected from others, disconnected from a sense of purpose, unsure how to find ourselves again. Nations can be lost, disconnected from all but the rotten parts of their core, off the illusory track of progress, moving onward and upward forever. Families can be lost, navigating the ending of relationships everybody thought would be permanent, incorporating new partners, redefining family completely. Churches can be lost, too. I've been reading lately about what some are calling the dismantling and death of American institutions. Churches, universities, Congress, libraries, the Department of Education, research hospitals. Institutions defined by Ann Snyder, editor of Comment Magazine, a publication of public theology, defines institutions as organizations imbued with special meaning, a living tradition, a patterned form of human relationship. I am a bit of an institutionalist myself, for better or for worse, and unlike many others in my generation, I do actually still believe in the power and the possibility of this patterned form of human relationship. I spend most of my time trying to figure out how to support this particular institution and being the healthiest form of itself it can be in a wild, changing world. Because I believe in what we have to offer to the wider community, and because I have watched lives here transform in front of my very eyes, and I have been transformed myself. Ann Snyder and many others are articulating these days our being in a time of institutional precarity. Many institutions are in disorientation, stripped to their foundation, and others, she writes, are fragile, raw, but showing flickers of renewal. All of this sounds to me a bit like being lost. So many institutions, so many congregations, so many individual people are feeling lost. I have read many books on how to help churches get unlost, and according to my notes, we still may be in the lost category. I was taught that change is what happens in the chaos time between periods of stability or equilibrium. An institution or group or a person would be stable, then they might go through a period of instability, feeling lost, chaos, a time of feeling unsteady, seeking, searching, change, growth, and then would be solid again on the other side. The models of change leadership I have studied, let's call them the map for an institution like this, all share a fundamental assumption. The assumption is a linear forward trajectory. That if you're lost, you can find your answer on a map and then be found. And that is so 2015. Seriously, that is so 2015. I won't list all the reasons because you already know them, why the fundamental assumption of change being that we move from stability through chaos back to stability is not the most useful map for us to chart our way into a future that may be glorious but is very unlikely to be stable, predictable, or linear. Today, it is 2026, and we do not know what the future holds. Heck, on a good day, I don't even fully understand where we are now, let alone imagine exactly where we will go. But that does not mean we are lost. It really doesn't. And even if we are, if found is the trajectory, the map I talked about for congregational development, institutional change, or national progress, linear forward trajectory, onward and upward forever, I'm not sure I want us to be found. Because I believe that the most important map in this life is what you see when you look around. More important than where we should be is where we are. And where we are is here. I find now, in what has surely been trademarked by this point as these times, trying to get us where I think we should be, using the methods I have been taught that have been effective before, just doesn't work. You have and will continue to hear me use words here like experiment and pilot and try. Because our shared ministry here, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, is a ministry of build the bridge as you cross it. Ours is a shared ministry of noticing anxiety about not having a 5-year strategic plan or knowing exactly where we're going and how we'll get there, and instead looking around, taking stock of where we are now, what we need now, and what incredible gifts we have: wisdom, creativity, diversity, resources of all different kinds to be faithful to our calling and live out our shared values. We're not lost. We're opting out of the marked trail on purpose. We're bushwhacking. We're building the bridge, the trail, as we cross it, as we go. And it matters what we do here in this place and how we do it, both because what we're co-creating here in this community matters, and also because this place is a practice ground for the rest of our lives. The sun and the moon villagers who built the bridge as they crossed it figured out by being present to the reality they were in, who had what skills. They figured out they needed to respect one another's ideas as well as their own self-knowledge. They figured out they needed to own their gifts and their limitations and their boundaries. They figured out by building together how to trust each other. The bridge wasn't perfect or perfectly made. It was a bit of a DIY kind of situation, but it transformed the builders as well as those who crossed it. It turns out that a perfect formula for how to rebuild after an earthquake wasn't what they needed. A strategic plan wasn't what they needed. Knowing how to build a bridge wasn't even what they needed. Knowing how to work together as a community through stress and uncertainty and less than ideal conditions, that is what they needed. And when they were present enough to listen to the quiet-voiced child among them who had an idea, when they stopped looking for a trail, a map, and they looked around and found they had one another, when they found they weren't actually lost, their life-saving work could begin. Now, my guess is that more likely than not, almost everyone feels lost. If not now, then probably not too far in the past, or they will soon. The road of life isn't straight for any of us, which is what makes it a journey. And the only way not to miss the journey is to look around constantly and take stock of where we actually are. Perhaps unironically, that shift from map to ground, from searching to presence, brings us from the anxiety, that panic of lost, which makes us grouchy and graspy and blamey and sometimes overly confident, to a tentative acceptance, a steadiness. In a steady moment, we can look around and see one another, see that we are not alone. In a steady moment, we can imagine and begin to create a path that might not be, probably won't be, the path we thought we might travel, but that fits who and how we are now remarkably well. In a steady moment, we can realize we are not lost. We are right here. Here, the precise address of that vast love which holds us all. Right here, the precise address of our life. Lost, found, or somewhere in between, may we each and all feel that love is with us, wanders with us as long as we want, as long as it takes, until our way appears. May it be so. Amen. Now, speaking of experiments, we're going to try one. Inside your order of service, you have an insert to a beautiful song that we're going to learn how to sing together. I'm going to hand it over to our choir and to Dale.
I noticed as I worked on this weekend is that the word love appears in this 14 times. And sometimes you hold it longer than others, depending on what the black dots are telling you. Don't worry about that. What I discovered, which was very intriguing to me, was the word love, which I think we unconsciously focus on the O sound, love. But it's the V that really it got me, because the V, all it is the teeth hitting the top of the lip to end the word. That's it, that little tiny thing, and I'm just so intrigued by how important it is to the word, that such a small little utterance. So, here we go, we're gonna sing the first verse. 2, 3. Hold fast to love, for it's not broken. Hold fast to love, it will endure. Hold fast to love, hold your heart open, for all this hurt, love is the cure.
All right, the second verse talks a little about being lost and finding your way. Where have I heard that? Anyway, so if anything in the sermon resonated with you, hopefully this verse will too. So let's go for it.
Hold fast to love, is staying right here, despite the ones who've lost their way. Hold fast to love, it shows the way clear, so we can face another day.
Third verse lets you bring your own emotion into the song. People say that music soothes their soul, and that's what this verse is about. When you read about your voices, that this is in your voice, it's in our hands, love rises up. Try some body movements to make it mean more to you, because the more you pour into the song, the more beautiful it's going to sound.
Hold fast to love, it's in our voices. Hold fast to love, it's in our hands. Love rises up to guide our choices. There is no storm love can't withstand.
And the last verse is a reprise of the first verse. It was so good we get to repeat it and do it even better.
Hold fast to love, for it's not broken. Hold fast to love, it will endure. Hold fast to love, hold your heart open, for all this hurt, love is the cure. For all this hurt, love is the cure.
After the benediction, you are invited to remain seated for a time of reflection and integration as Dale and the choir offer our postlude. The late Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said that one of our most profound teachings is also the shortest. I have arrived. When we return to our breathing, when we return to love, we return to the present moment, our true home. Our worship has ended, and our service begins. Go in peace.
Center.